Hey guys, how's it going? Long time no see. So today we're going to be doing a little video on some reloading. What do you need if you're going to buy a 1050 video for a couple of people? One in particular, Tagger Gear or Tag Gear. He was going to be buying a 1050 like this, and I just want to know what it is he needed to do multiple calibers. And I've gotten this question numerous times in the past, so we're going to hit on that and also address a couple other things. I made this video once before, but I kind of left out a major thing, so we're going to do it again. Alright, so you want to buy a 1050. Fair enough. It's a great machine. You'll love it. Does everything you'll need it to, especially when you get into 5.56 or 223. The auto swage functionality of this is a huge time saver. So here we go. Let's go from top to bottom. When you do buy the 1050, it's going to come with a full set of dies, everything you need ready to go with one caliber. So out of the box, you're going to be good to go depending on what you select. I don't know what's going to be available from Dillon. I don't know if they're still having issues with inventory or not, but they had a huge problem. People were ordering the machines faster than they could actually build them. So I don't know where they stand as far as parts, but I would say order it with the caliber that is available. So at least you can get started, you know. You're going to need 2 extra tool heads and the dies to go with them. So what you're going to get is, I have an extra tool head in this cabinet, would you believe? Yeah, there's one in there. Well, there's 2 in there. I'm trying to open it without knocking over. So anyway, there's that. That's kind of what that looks like. That's just an empty tool head ready to be put on. I think that's my well, I don't know what it is. I can't see it from where I'm standing, but there's a couple in there. You're going to need those and the dies to go with it. So you're going to need a couple extra dies. Basically, when you buy dies, you're buying also a conversion kit. So here, kind of out in front of you, for instance, you're going to get dies. This is what it's going to look like, except hopefully there isn't a stuck case in your resizing die when you get it. But you're going to get 3 dies, buy the carbide dies, spend the extra 10 or 20 bucks, whatever it is, well worth it. So you're going to get the sizing and decapping die, a bullet seating die, and then your crimping die. Also, you're going to get a conversion kit, and that's basically going to have your shell plate and the little adapter thing for here. The feeding tube needs a specific adapter for the case feeder, and then also it's going to come with this thing, which is what pushes the case out onto the shell plate. It's this thing right here, that little guy right there. So when you actuate the machine, it's going to take a case from inside this tube and grab it and stick it out on the shell plate. The conversion kit will come with that, as well as these locator buttons. Each is fairly specific to caliber. These are number 1s. They're specific to 45 cal. The shell plates you had asked, and they are specific to the size of the case. I was under the impression, at least like the 650, you could use the same shell plate for both 9mm and 223. Well, here is the one for 9mm. And I'll take this 223. And it fits in there, you think, right? But it falls right out. It's too wide. And conversely, when you try to put a 9mm in here, it's not going to fit because it's too wide. Another thing that you're going to need that they don't sell as part of the conversion kit, I do not believe, but check go ahead and give them a call and ask, is the expander backer die, which is quite important. It holds the case in place while the swager comes up. And the swager is kind of important, not only for, taking the crimp out of the NATO brass primer pocket, but I find it useful for when, especially with 45, they have two different size primer pockets. So I'm a large primer pocket 45 guy. That's the way my machine's set up. They're more common than the smaller primer pockets. And let's see if I can do this, show you. Looking inside there, you can see right here, that little guy. You can see that little button that's sticking up. That's the same size as, or what the primer pocket's supposed to be. So when you try to shove that into a small primer pocket found on some 45 cases, it doesn't fit, and the machine kind of lets you know by tactile alarm system that it's not going to fit in there. Sorry about the camera shake there. You're not going to be able to pull the machine down all the way. It's going to start whining at you, and it's just kind of a handy thing to do. Trying to stuff a large primer into a small primer pocket is something you never want to do. And if you do, it will let you know you're screwing up if you don't figure it out already. It makes a really loud noise. Over here we have a powder fill alarm. You don't have to buy this. It's a separate die that you can set up on the tool head. But like I said, you don't need it. Basically, when you bring the tool head down to the shell plate, that little washer is going to contact the shell plate and push up on this. And that's annoying as hell, but what you should do when you get it all dialed in, you'll have this little kind of button that goes in and out. That's what sounds the alarm. So when you have the perfect amount of powder in there, it should sit up like that, and you won't hear an alarm. What happens is if you have too much powder, it'll end up like this, and you'll sound an alarm. If you have too little powder, it'll sound like that, which is identical. That's what it's going to do. It's handy if the reloader malfunctions, but I've never had one malfunction. But it's just good to have. If you overcharge a 9mm, it's not good for you. It's not good for the firearm. So anyway, that's an option. Let's see, what else do you need? I think that basically covers it. If you're going to go into using different primer type cases, like if you're also going to be doing like 45 or anything with a large primer, you're also going to have to order some pieces that go inside here. It's a powder bar that slides in and out. I'm not going to take the machine apart to show you, but basically it sits in there, and what it is basically a little bar that has a hole in it, and it slides back. It collects a primer that's inside this tube, and as you pull the handle back, it sends that bar forward, and then there is another punch that comes up and seats the primer into the case. You'll need a different bar for large primer than you would small primer. The hole's different. Let's see, what else do you need? You definitely should buy some case lube. You're going to need that. You don't necessarily have to do case lube when you're doing pistol rounds. If you get carbide dies, they're nice and slick as is. You can lubricate the dies a little bit using a dry lube, but you certainly don't need to lubricate them. What else can I tell you? I think that's about it. For other resources on reloading, specifically, I would recommend going to OBX Soul Wind. My brother and my other brother, my other brothers, AZ Papa Les and Buck Run 11, all have phenomenal reloading channels. Buck Run 11, and well, all of those guys have been doing it for years and years and years. I've only been doing it about 3 now, but it's once you get the hang of it, there's not a lot to know. Well, there is a lot to know, but for the most part, specific to this machine, not a lot of nuances or anything like that. So it's about it. You don't need this, but they sure come in handy. I have a video on this. This is the Dillon Auto Primer Filler. Really cool. Check out that video if you're interested. Saves you a little time. Actually, that reminds me, you might need a primer tray and filler pickup tube. So think about that. Another thing you might need is a scale. That's a Lyman. That was about 110 bucks or something, I think. Powder scales are handy. It's even more handy to have 2 of them just to make sure if you're extra anal. That's really about it. So if I missed anything, anybody's paying attention and think they want to add something or add to something that I've missed or not touched on enough, feel free, let me know, and put a comment down below. Other than that, you guys, interested in the 1050, congrats. It's a killer machine, you'll love it, and don't be too intimidated by it. There's a lot of stuff going on, but once you got it dialed in, it's a tank. It stays dialed in. It's a rocking machine. So hope this answers your questions. Y'all have a good day.